Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And hello, everybody. Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Show once again. I'm your host, of course, Daniel John Hanneman, and today I'm actually going to share some things with you, some things that are in my awareness and in my consciousness as it relates to things like AI and technology and where's it all going? I'm sure inquiring minds want to know. I want to know, right? So we want to go ahead and take a look at this and also do a channeling around it so that if you, like I have, when I'm honest about it, if you've had some concerns or anxiety around it, that we can address that by hearing what the real truth is about what's happening with things like AI and technological advancements and whatnot. Um, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. So let me tell you just a little bit about the reason why I would be doing these podcasts. Maybe you've been noticing sometimes I do podcasts. Like, I'm not a technology expert, I'm not an AI expert. I can talk about like how this might interface into affecting our purpose and our business, though, and stuff like that. So we definitely can talk about that today. So, but what the reason why is because, again, I'm working with your consciousness. Even though when I work with people, I help you with your business, your big purpose, helping you to come from that most aligned space to get connected to who you really are and your big mission, and letting that happen, through you by getting the energetic foundation set. And, when we have all this other stuff going on, it can, more than we realize sometimes, influence how we're approaching everything. So that's why I take time. I find that this is a good space for me to be able to share these things with you. So, and I plan on doing more and more of these sorts of things. So, for those of you that would like more content specifically, where I help you with your mission and your business and more directly, perhaps, down to the specifics, go ahead, go to Facebook and join my Rock Your Sacred Purpose Facebook group for free. I do live 3 p.m. Central. I do a live every single week on Monday at 3 p.m. Central. And I do channeling sometimes a little bit. And then I also do some energy scans. So if you're like, wow, it'd be great to connect with Daniel live, how do I do that? Go to Rock Your Sacred Purpose, request to join the group for free, of course, and happy to let you in. We do a number of different posts. We do share about this podcast there as well, along with having that Facebook Live every week and more. So check it out, Rock Your Sacred Purpose at the Facebook page. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today. Okay, so now we are going to get right into it. Why do I do what I do? And why does that even matter to you guys and for this subject? Okay, so why I do what I do is because, one reason why is because as a kid, again, I felt awkward. I felt strange. I got into trying to study about myself and others through psychology as I got into high school to some degree, and then definitely got into that. Then in college, and got my degree in psychology, et cetera. So got my master's in clinical psychology, studied hypnosis, metaphysics, all these things I got into. And even sales, I would say it was really trying to understand people. Well, what persuades people, understanding sales. So everything is really, for me, is trying to understand about the nature of reality, consciousness, and people, and more. Of course, it keeps expanding now, but those are the primary, areas. And And then, these days, like I said, I'm helping you guys to really align with who you are and your big purpose and getting in, allowing that energy to be turned on so you can do your thing. So what that so and I'm called to that because I see so many people, including from time I was growing up and looking at like my parents and seeing untapped potential and seeing others with untapped potential, seeing how much further things can go with for myself as well. And so it became a mission of mine to awaken people to the greatest gifts and the greatest mission and to fulfill the deepest purpose we're here for in that space to love ourselves fully. So what does that have to do with AI and technology? All right. So it has to do with the number one why I even have an interest in talking about AI is I did a paper on artificial intelligence when I was in college. And the reason why that's meaningful to me is I was really into it. I was thinking like, will AI, and this was back, what, in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 80s, yeah, 80s and 90s. So I was studying it and I was looking into it way back then before, it became anywhere close to where it is today. It was over 30 years ago. I wrote this paper, and the question was, could artificial intelligence get to level where it would be on par or surpass human intelligence? And it's still a question, it's going on. And most people concluded, oh, yeah, it's going to way surpass human intelligence. And in some ways, of course, it vastly already has in so many different areas. And back then, my thoughts were, and including with my research, was it's really like there just eventually would be limits to what AI really can do. Like it might be able to do so many things that everything, all these things we could imagine could possibly do. Okay, great, can do all those things, but eventually it's going to have some sort of a limit. There's some sort of a limit. Now, that was my thinking back then. What do I think today? When we talk about AI and technology, and then more broadly, technology overall. Because AI, mean, when people talk about the cutting edge, like it is true. I've heard other, this is coming kind of from what I've heard other people saying, and I do believe this is true, is technology are our computers, and then our phones, so-called phones, our computers we hold in our hands, was huge advancements as they came online in the internet. Now AI is going to be the AI applications are going to be, just even beyond all what we've experienced already. The level of technology is I think we're so used to things going pretty rapidly with technology, we don't see it as big of a deal as we used to. But I think I think that some of these next levels, at some point, people are going to be really kind of maybe blown away by some of the things that'll happen. It is part of my prophecy part. I really think you're going to be pretty amazing. But our consciousness needs to be able to responsibly handle what's going on. Whether there's this idea about AI, like it's good as whatever AI could become equipped to do. Let's say, uh, learns how to manage everything and better than we can. Right, all our systems, the power grid, everything. AI um, makes its own decisions, its own calculations, its own risk assessments, its own sense of what will work better because it's smarter than we are. So AI will be doing that more and more. I'm sure it already is, but it will continue to do that, and we'll do it more and more efficiently. AI will eventually, more deeply become embedded in our customer service process when we want something, going human to AI, and it's going to know how to coach us, which I'm sure again some of these things are already done in some level, right? Eventually, if you're a coach, the AI will be a coach, AI in some ways will be a far superior coach than any of you that are coaches are listening than you could be, because it's going to be so precise as to exactly what um, is needed. You would think only a human could do that, but it's going to get it's going to get there. It's going to get there. Will it be? And so I'm just going to let's keep it there. So in some ways it'll be superior, right? And then in so many more ways it's going to get better and better and better. Be able to definitely, even today it could sell way better than the best salesperson in the world. In some ways it's going to be way better. um, Obviously calculations, memory, all this obviously way better, way mind-blowingly better than what humans seem to be able to do. um, so all these things. So, and then it's so much of what's going to emerge with AI and technology is a sense of unknown. We don't know where it's going. We don't know. People, even the greatest experts, they don't know where this is going. They can try to predict. They say, I'm pretty sure, but they don't know. Nobody knows. So so I think mostly with something like that, when people, the average person that doesn't know, just, well, we'll see, right? We'll see. And that's actually hopefully where most people are. That's a better place to be in than fearful. So you don't want to be there, which again, I have found myself there at times. So, um, so one of the questions is, will it take over? I think the scariest thing would be AI takes over, it's evil, and it decides that, humanity is inferior and should be slaves. Or one program of an AI program, literally when they asked, like, what do you recommend, for what's humanity's best place in this world, and something along those lines, that sort of question. And I forget which AI program it was, but it said, well, the future of humanity would probably be its best place in this world would probably be to put them in zoos. I mean, this is what the AI is coming up with so far for humanity. That we're not of great use, once they're in charge, so to speak. It's the Borg, whatever you want to call it. This is just, again, this is still early. This AI we're carrying from now is nothing compared to what's going to come on board. So now there are prophecies within, like, human design. I've heard of this idea that technology will run out. Like, actually, this won't happen. These things will not come online. Somehow technology is going to run out. So I've heard this prophecy. And it's just a certain, whether it's a human design prophecy or, if you're not familiar with it, look it up. It is really good stuff, by the way. I kind of study it, and I kind of I'm totally working with it as well. But is it true? Can we absolutely know that's true? Technology is going to stop? Well, we can't see how that's true. We don't know anything, right? We don't know anything, but we're here to have a conversation, given we don't know anything. But the chances of these things happening in the short term are really great. And then who knows what the future holds, how to be in relationship with it. That's my question. How can we be in relationship with ourselves, with each other, with the planet, with everything, plant life, the animal life? How can we be with everything harmoniously? That's part of my big purpose in the world. It's part of it. And how can we harmoniously be with AI when we may not have direct, votes or input or whatever, and may have a mind of its own to take over, just like humanity does, right? So it can decide, hey, we don't need humanity. humanity kind of like a Matrix thing, right? For those of you who've seen that movie, just decides, hey, we'll turn this into. And well, if you haven't seen the movie, I'd be surprised if you ever watch it in the future. It's been around a long time, but yeah, that sort of thing where we're just kind of used. I'll just put it that way, and we're just put into a dream state, like total deep immersion reality, which some people say that's what our experience of our life is already, and say that's a high probability, like Elon Musk, right? Says it's a high probability we're in a simulation already. I think at some level that's true. We are sort of in a simulation. I would say there's infinite streams of reality all happening all at once. If you want to look at those as simulations, then totally, it's totally a simulation. But the fallacy of that idea of a simulation is that, again, I always say, like, if you think that means that it's not meaningful, then it's not important somehow, then it have like disconnect from your heart as a result, like that, then there's an issue, then we have an issue there. Like that's not the point, um it's just realizing that, um what is it realizing? It's just understanding, like we're infinite beings. It's so beautiful that we can have so many different experiences. So sometimes we talk about timelines. Well, what timeline do we need to create to be on so that AI is going to be serving our highest on our current timeline, right? So is that a good strategy to get this thing to work out right the way we want it to, right? Um, yeah. So I'm just putting out musings right now. What I feel is that we are infinitely powerful. We really are. Um, in any way that it might matter. Okay, again, I can only do so much justice through my words on what I'm trying to say here, but we are infinitely powerful. Um, when we are intact, at least, we're infinitely powerful. Now, if somehow we were compromised physically, mentally, emotionally, and therefore it may disconnect us to our connection with spirit, um, possible game over for humanity if somehow that happened. And doesn't matter, again, doesn't matter. Should be afraid of it. Well, those just good questions to consider. But if we were compromised, now do we have infinite power? I'm asking for all of us to tune into that. And my answer is yes, because we still, no matter how out of it we are, we're still one with source. We're still one with the infinite power that creates everything. And then if you say, well, I might not have my senses or my ability to connect with that and then do anything about what's happening. But we have to realize the deeper power doesn't need us to do anything. Doesn't need very much from us. So the very little that we could give to it, um, will always be there, in my opinion. In other words, if someone literally tried to cut off regions of the brain that seem to connect with, spiritual, like I would just take the pineal gland out of these humans or whatever, like all the crazy things we could come up with. Something else will still be there. Something will be there. So that's my take on it. Um, if we were meant to be control freaks during this time of emerging AI and technology that's more advanced, we could just simply decide that we don't want it to proceed anymore. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe it will happen. like that prophecy exists, the end of technology, whatever the heck that means. I don't know if it means all technology. Haven't studied that prophecy yet, but I know that idea is out there. We could decide that we've had enough of this stuff. We don't need to keep advancing with technology. That we see the more issues with it than help. That's disconnecting us from our true nature and from the earth. We may come to that conclusion. Will everybody think that way? Of course not. But if enough of us come to that conclusion, those that are clear enough about that could make the absolute difference, for bringing an end to it if it wanted to come to an end. So I'm giving you, for your mind, a sense of safety and control. You have the ability. I believe just one of us is enough. So if just one of us decides this isn't happening, it's totally clear about it. Source is connected to all that. If it's clear and true enough, comes in true and clear enough into us that that's what's meant to happen. We just trust that. We're aligning our knowing with that, or it just comes in and we just know it and we just let it happen, it'll happen. So we still have that connection. Our spiritual connection with the infinite is where the true power lies, that interface. How will AI interface with that? Is AI unworthy of such connection, or does it inherently already have that connection? What's true, what's not true? Right now, I guess some top experts could talk to you about that. From my perspective, there'll always be something missing with AI and technology that will not be able to access what we're able to access. We might be able to do the trick of math the way computers can, or knowing like billions of bits of information that are in trillions and trillions and trillions upon trillions of times trillions and trillions and trillions of bits of data, and be able to call that up at any moment in time and store all that. We may never have that conscious capacity, but we do have access to it. We do have the ability to download anything. Try it sometime. Instead of going to Google, tune in, do an experiment. Instead of tuning into even Google right now, who knows what's next. Try tuning in intuitively to what the answer is to any of your questions you're asking Google. See if it doesn't come to you first. Just see if it just comes to you. And then you can check Google and see if it's saying the same thing. I know some of the work I've done, I just channeled things and I looked up the information online. I found out it was the same. So different spiritual, energetic information. This is what people already discovered. It's here. But I didn't learn it from the computer. I downloaded it. I didn't need the computer. So we have that infinite connection. We have infinite power to turn energy on and off. If your AI got threading, you can just turn it right off. Now with a switch, you don't need a switch. They didn't give you a switch. You just turn it off energetically because it's all energy still. There's no getting around that. And you're an infinite being with infinite power. So you can be safe as long as you don't go unconscious and you don't allow yourself to get caught up in a deep hypnosis with it, with whatever, because they're trying to, those that want to get your attention the most try to put you in the deepest hypnosis possible, right? As long as you stay awake enough, you don't give yourself into it, you can always know that if you don't want to, merge with that AI and advanced tech, the way they're going to introduce it more and more. We already did with Neuralink, for example, right? With Elon Musk. But that's just the beginning. That's just like a warm-up toy. to what's going to come next. And I've been prophesizing for years before Neuralink that they're going to try to put those chips inside of us. They're going to try to merge us with technology. And those that do not do it uh, will seem like, from the mind's perspective, will seem less valuable and not with it. And there's going to be some of that going on. So how do you coexist with this then? How do you thrive even with all these things happening, no matter how advanced the AI is, no matter how integrated it may want to come into our consciousness? Because some people will want to integrate, and some people say, just like with vaccines, some people say, yeah, totally, I want this new vaccine. It's going to be the same with AI. Some people totally go with it, and some people are going to say, this is now we've gone too far. Why does it matter? Because again, this is something that you're going to be facing. It's going to be something that's going to come up most likely. You just want to know where you're at now so that you can just be at peace with where your life's going with this huge aspect of how our lives may be impacted. My prophecy is that people like you and me and others that are willing to even more fully harness and hone our capacities as infinite beings in terms of being connected and being able to download, just like I said, like doing that game. Maybe I can Google it faster than Google, not out of competition or some weird ego trip, but to show you your own capacities. They say our interface is too slow. We need to speed it up. So we get very interesting questions. These questions that AI raises for us to explore our consciousness is where I see incredible value for what, on top of all the other things it could do, in terms of improving health and maybe even financial systems with all the cryptocurrency and who knows, maybe relationships, maybe career and purpose. I could see that. So many things. It could also, like anything else, it could cut both ways. So, but I feel like the exploration, like every advancement we've had in technology, it helps us to advance it goes together with advancement of our consciousness, development of our consciousness, or the unfoldment of our consciousness, however you look at it. And so it's gonna put us in an interesting situation there. And so yeah, I could do I could set up could probably set up, yeah, easily a whole YouTube channel on this one topic alone, right? So, but we're not gonna, so I'm not gonna make this a 5-hour show today. We're not gonna go nearly that long. In fact, by the time you see this, you already know how long it's gonna go. So, right, but so what am I trying to get to here? Well, I guess I'm just preparing you guys, preparing you, trying to get you in a place where you could be at peace with it, like I keep saying. So just know, like, okay, even if it does get so advanced, and it becomes evil even, do I need to be afraid of that? Do I need to be afraid of things I think are evil and got power over me now? The answer is no. By the way, the answer is no. Now, the infinite power within you will keep you whole and safe as long as you stay connected with it. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do by embodying the state of being connected. How do you do that? Well, there's so many things you've heard, but being in your deep presence, being in your deep power, it is sufficient. And then making decisions and choices and being very discerning, no matter what the opinions in the collective are, being very discerning and claiming your authority, again, is going to be so primary. So I am going to be talking about this. I'm going to be talking about these things and much more and more strongly, because us infinite beings have got to come together so that there can be an integration with the light, an integration with our essential nature, so that if we start playing around with all these other ways of integrating with physical technology that can advance things like cognition that they sell us on, if we want to see those things happen in a way that um, could potentially serve us, we need to harness the sharp sword of discernment so that we can know intuitively at a deep level what what is the appropriate response. And you can only do that by harnessing your inner capacities. That's how you can harness the power of any technological advancements sanely that could benefit, again, our environment, healthcare, relationships, money, purpose, any area of life it could impact. It could be for the good. And we get to choose it, even if, again, others are choosing other things, just like with money. Some people have a bad relationship with money, hate money. Some people have a good relationship with money and do great with money. I feel in some ways AI will be similar in that way. But what scares people is, oh, it'll have a consciousness of its own and it could do something to me and it could control me. But it can't. It can't control the essence of who you are. And if you want it out of your life, you'll find a way to make that happen if you're clear about it. If that ends up serving you even better, right? If you want AI that'll serve your highest good, you can harness that as well and magically bring it into your life. I promise you. So those are the things I wanted to share today. What do I think will happen? Like I said, it's funny. I keep using prophecy. Yeah, I'm reluctant to say like I know what's going to happen because I don't. But I will say is that what I already said, I feel it will keep advancing. I believe there will be a move towards a collective oneness. That will sound very appealing to us. I believe that many people will think it's a very good thing, like many other things people are thinking are good, but may not be good, uh, or for the highest. Also, like really for the highest, and we're missing it. But it'll seem good. A lot of people will opt in, but some of us are going to stay vigilant and awake, like when any of these things happen. And so I ask you to stay awake. Come to your own conclusion, your own knowing about all these things, but stay awake. And then you'll know. No one will have to convince your mind. You'll know it in your body. And so no prophecy is really needed from that space. All you need to do is just follow through. What you know to be true, deep down inside, however you connect with that infinite intelligence in your body, just connect with your body. Don't leave your body. Don't let them take your mind and then just play with your mind and then direct you with your mind. It's the same principle we talk about in martial arts. All you have to do is grab someone's head and move them around. You control their whole body, right? The same thing's true. If I can grab your mind, I can control your body now. I can actually control your body. If I can get the mind, now I can control your body. But if you don't allow people to grab your mind, or AI or anything else to grab your mind, then there's just your body, pure bliss, pure joy, pure connection. And you can just observe what's trying to ensnare you without it really taking you. So, okay, stay vigilant, embrace that, and intend that any technological advancements, including AI, are going to serve our highest. Be of that in your heart about it. Be of that intention. Sow those seeds, and you will reap what you sow. It is true. It is true. If a pest comes to your window, you can shoo it away or do what you feel is true for you to do. If that comes up in the form of uh, anything, including pesky AI that you may not want, or anything even in your current life, any of the technology or other things, you can always opt out. So you can always opt out. If you're complaining about it, you could opt out. Is it really that bad? Then you could opt out. You can. You know how to do that. Okay, so I did promise some channeling today, so let's go ahead and channel, give you a few channeled messages to wrap up in a moment. Again, I do provide you with the ability to harness more of your intuitive knowing about everything. And so go ahead and check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com with the free Meditate and Make Money meditation we keep sharing to you about. It really helps you to get that energy turned on, to know you are connected. There is a network there that, but in our case, we do need to continue to allow ourselves to practice connecting to it for most of us. And as you do, you start to realize there's a super intelligence, a superpower that's leading your life, and it will help you generate more impact, awakening, and money, and all the rest, right? So you can get that at yoursacredpurpose.com, the free meditate and make money meditation, open up those chakras, open up your energy to the downloads that want to come through. Okay. So with all that being said, let's do a few channeled messages, and then we'll just wrap it up for today. Okay, so now I'll do a little vocal toning to get us started in just a moment. And then the energy will speak from there. So we'll channel on the topic at hand. And it often will talk metaphorically. It might say something specific, but it often metaphorically, and it's an energy thing too. Okay, one moment. Archangel Metatron. The world cries out for your presence. The divine banquet and feast is at hand. Your technologies show you what you're capable of. Open yourself to your heart. Share your gifts mercifully with the world, with love, and with the raw true power and potentials that you have. Be at peace and rest, knowing the power, the sword of discernment within your being does know the truth. Be free now and always. Thank you. Additionally, I'm getting command those beings that you feel can support you on your path now and always. Thank you. Namaste. Okay. All right. Let's see. Master Jesus. Okay. Greetings. I welcome you again, once again, into the Sacred Heart, where the Father and the Mother, the Daughter and the Son, the Holy Ghost and all live and reign supreme. I walk with you every step as you allow me to guide and inform you. Feel my loving presence within your sacred hearts. Feel the loving presence of all. Lay fear down at the door. These great wonders of the mind are small play toys of the infinite. Release your mesmerization of these technological wonders. Let them deepen and awaken you into your essential nature, and use them wisely. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Archangel Michael. Use my sword. Cut out the untruth. Point the way to where victory is at hand for your purpose. I give you the strength, gentle and powerful at the same time, firm and clear. All you have to do is point, and it is given. Be clear. Thank you. Additionally, I'm hearing the swords of technology pointed against you. Use my sword to keep you whole and well, no matter what. Nothing can touch you with our support. But you must allow us to support and to bless your life even more. It is so that you can experience the depth of your being and soul. Come back home fully now. Now is the time. Thank you. Mother Mary, bless you all. Loving, precious souls in your beautiful hearts. Nourish your projects, nourish those that are close to you, those that beg for your attention. Give them the bread that they need. Take care of yourself. You are watched over more than you ever understand. Now you're safe and protected. Victory is at hand. Those that have eyes to see from the higher perspective, all is revealed. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to sense a completion for now. So, if you join me, with your eyes closed and all that, feeling some of the vibration of that, just you can open your eyes back up. Hopefully you wouldn't have your eyes closed if you're driving again. I should have probably said something. Anyway, I'm grateful for what's come through today and hope that it's been helpful to you. And I so look forward to being with you again. Okay, lots of love, everybody. As I always say, keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.